Democratic member is with us this afternoon.
Chair, I come in peace. I come in peace, sir.
Well, Honorable Singh is now here. I will replace you easily. I have options. I have options now, Honorable Singh.
Well
So
done.
you better behave yourself because you might find yourself sitting on the sidelines.
Thanks, Chair.
No, thank you very much and welcome. Welcome, Chairperson, as well. Thank you. So can I just check that our guests are here? So if the mayor can just acknowledge that he can hear us, and also I just want to make sure that we can see you. Mayor, are you able to hear us?
Good afternoon, Chair.
Good afternoon, Mayor. How are you doing?
No, we are doing well in the cold wind weather.
No, thanks.
Chair, in attendance with the NCR and the speaker is here also. I'm with the MM, the NCR team, MPEG chair. They are in attendance. I don't know whether you want to also see them.
No, so for now, just tell us what the NCR is. I hope it's not the National Credit Regulator, Mayor, because acronyms can be a problem.
No, it's the National Cabinet Representative, Chair.
Oh, I see. Not the National Credit Regulator. Okay. I know municipalities have problems, but I was getting worried that the National Credit Regulator is getting involved there too.
No.
No, I'm teasing, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I wanted to just make sure that our logistical arrangements, just in terms of who's going to present and so on, are in place, so that once you guys start, there's no interruption. So in short, what we will do is we will give you an opportunity to present. You are obviously the leader of the delegation. So you determine who does the presentation. And what would also help when the members later on are asking questions, you work out ahead of time who is going to answer what type of questions, because it helps us get through the proceedings quickly, right? So if you can help us with making those kind of decisions, it worked very well in the morning session with the city of Matlosana. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we would give you until it's now 2:10. So we would give you until 3 p.m. for you to make your remarks and for your colleagues to present. And then from 3 o'clock onwards, we will then give the members an opportunity to ask questions and interact with you. If you could encourage your colleagues to get straight to the point. We'd like to release you, Mayor, before midnight. So the more straightforward the questions are, the answers are, the better. You will find that the members also ask very specific questions of you. So if we do that, we should all be done within a reasonable time. So I would ask you then to introduce your delegation and to then just tell us how you are planning to proceed in terms of who's presenting. And then the Secretariat will make sure that your presentation is showed on the screen. And then after you finish your presentation, you can make closing remarks if necessary. And then we'll go to questions. But by 3 o'clock, we have to start with the questions.
No, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, with me, I'm with the Speaker of Council, Memanana Bukhatsu. Chairperson, we are also with the Chairperson of MPEG, also with the NCR. I don't know whether I move the the camera. Maybe they will introduce themselves.
No, just mention their names, and then when they ask, well, that will be easier. Just mention their names and their
Okay,
titles, and
we are
then
with the,
when they speak, then they can show their face when they're answering questions.
okay, thank you very much. I'm with Ndate Kopunga Dikontani, who is the leading NCR. I think I've also explained what is the NCR. We are with Dr. Divier, also with us. We are with the MM is also with us, Rebo Josignani. We are also with the CFO amongst the delegation that we have. I am also Molefe Morute, the mayor of Ditsobotla Local Municipality. Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, the presentation will be done by the MM. I'm not going to take time because, Chair, you are saying we must go straight to the point. Now we're going to hand over to Rebo Josignani. He'll be giving us a presentation, and then we'll be shooting straight to other process. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Mayor. So may I ask, because you mentioned the National Cabinet representative, and I'd like the municipal manager, before you get onto the slides, to just share, because it's not just the committee. The committee members might understand why there is a National Cabinet representative, but this is also being streamed to the public. So please just give a context in terms of the intervention that may be going on there, why there's a National Cabinet representative, and then you get onto the presentation. And then when we deal with the questions, to the extent that the NCR might be dealing with some issues, the public would not be lost in terms of why there's a person that's speaking. So over to you, municipal manager. But if you can just indulge us with some context in the beginning, we would be grateful. Thank you.
It's MM.
We can't hear you. I think you are still on mute, sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
That's
Honorable
better.
Mayor. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Mayor. And also let me acknowledge the presence of your good self, Chair, and also the committee members of your honorable committee, and also the NCR National Cabinet representative and his team. And also let me take opportunity to greet the municipal acting directors who are acting in their different capacities. It is so correct that Chair, Ditsobotla Local Municipality is under Section 1397 of the Constitution. And this section was introduced to Ditsobotla Local Municipality sometime, and also on or around the 3rd day of September 2025. And then this committee, this Section 1397 of the Constitution brought us a team of 8 members. And then this team of 8 members, is led by Ndate Kopunga Dikontani. And the other members, he's supported by other 7 members. And then these 7 members, they are responsible for different portfolios. Specifically, there's a BTO, and then at BTO, there are 2 experts which are assisting Ditsobotla with regard to financial recovery plan. And then also from that particular point, we do have another NCR team member for infrastructure, NCR team member for good governance, as well as institutional development. We also have a team member, NCR team member for community, as well as planning and development. The team is integrated to Ditsobotla, where each individually they are working with individual or acting directors in the municipality for different portfolios. And then it is a multidisciplinary intervention team, and they are also directly interacting with the acting directors in Ditsobotla. We can also submit that in terms of the state of governance, there are Section 80 committees which are functioning, and also the items have been processed through the council. Oh, thank you, Chair. May the secretariat of the committee, flag the presentation. I was not aware that it has not been flagged. Chair. Oh, thank you. Yes, and also in terms of the state of governance, we can safely submit that through the efforts of the institution, we've also established the Audit and Performance Committee, including the Financial Disciplinary Board, which the terms of references also has been adopted by the Council. Chair, with regard to the audit outcomes, the Ditsobotla Local Municipality has not been doing well in terms of this particular aspect. From 2022-23 financial year, we were disclaimed, and also 23-24 and also 25-26 financial year. We can also submit that at least what the efforts which the municipality has been doing, we have been mainly dealing with our post-audit action plan, has been attempts or have been effective attempts for us to reduce the number of issues which have been raised by the Auditor General. So also from Ditsobotla, we've collaborated with SEGA, which is in collaboration with LG-COGTA, where the municipality has been adopted as an initiative as provided the municipality with a service provider to assist us with the training and also for accurate submission and also review of our annual financial statement. With regard to a detailed information audited project, we can safely submit that one project has been audited by Auditor General in the past financial year, that is one of a road network and stormwater in Itsoseng phase 2. This particular project is a project which emanates from 2021-22 financial year. And however, there have been challenges, which challenges led the municipality to go and account at Human Rights Commission, where there is a complaint by one active citizen who reported some of the contravention of the Constitution when coming to human rights mandate and other aspects which are related to the powers and functions of Human Rights Commission. However, we've appeared in that particular report, in that particular committee, and then we've accounted as to what has been done by Ditsobotla in making sure that the Constitution is not compromised, and as well as the finalization or completeness of this particular project. We can also indicate that there are a number of projects, and in this particular project, they are indicated in that particular order, and then the Ditsobotla is busy with, or currently busy with, the implementation of this MIG project. And then with regard to revenue collection rate, the Ditsobotla, we are not doing fairly enough under this topic or under this particular issue. The revenue of Ditsobotla, we are collecting, but we are not collecting as much as we would love to do. There are challenges, which challenges affects our performance, specifically with regard to the old infrastructure of our electricity, and then as well as the water, and then also the pipelines of supply. So with regard to that, we are not collecting what is expected. Our collection rate, which we set ourselves from our key performance indicators, it was at the 95% rate, but we are collecting merely 44 and 47%. Also, with regard to revenue collection, our collection is there indicated in, and also our billing system also is failing us in terms of the manner in which we set ourselves the target, which we are not duly reaching. Next slide. Okay, and also we do have a category of our debtors, and then these particular categories, they've been categorized as an organ of state, commercials, and also household and others entities. With regard to this, we have a total amount of more than 105 million, which is owed by organ of the state, and also 274 million, which is owed by the commercial companies, and also household to the region of more than 1 billion and others. So the total amount which we were owed by the Ditsobotla by all this particular categorized institution is in the region of 1.5 billion. Our revenue collection, there are a lot of challenges which with the inception or with the introduction of national cabinet representative, and then there are challenges which were raised, and then those particular challenges were remedial actions, which as a result of the contribution of the national cabinet representative, we are moving towards resolving a number of issues. The challenges which are incorrectly tariffs linked to income types, and also the completeness of billing, and also house meter readings are based on units submitted by consumers, and then also inaccurate meter readings and due to lack of service delivery over an extended period affecting the consumer appetite to pay. So the remedial actions are indicated there too, that the smart meter grant application has been submitted to National Treasury, and then where about close to 13,500 units, that is the application which we submitted. And also the initiative debt incentive scheme was also, as a result of such, has been identified as a remedial action which may be taken for us to be able to move from where we are to the point where we want to see ourselves in terms of increasing the revenue of the Ditsobotla local municipalities. Chair, with regard to lack of service deliveries, there are a lot of challenges, and then we can safely submit that there have been an intervention which have been duly identified by together with the municipality, together with the NCRT members, and then mainly it's on the question of water. On the question of water, is the issue on the SLA which has to be signed between ourselves and the district municipality, where we need to understand and also to have a documentation, which is going to be a living document on the roles and functions between the Water Service Authority and water between the district and as well as the municipality. So with regard to the electricity, there have been a substantive effort which has been made specifically before the council. The item was placed before the council, where the discussion were more about how or what efforts can be made in order for Ditsobotla to move, and also to make sure that there is a proper functioning service delivery. And then the solution which Ditsobotla had under the circumstances was to collaborate with ESCOM under an agreement known as Distribution Agency Agreement. We can also safely submit that this Distribution Agency Agreement has been signed correctly, and then is now at the infant stage, where the municipality will be able to move forward in terms of to give a consistent electricity to the community, including the business unity or in the Ditsobotla local municipality. So with regard to roads and stormwater, the main challenges is that the Ditsobotla, we could not at this particular juncture, the issue of the master plans in place, they are not. We've got the dilapidated surface roads and then also the stormwater drains. But that thing will be the issue of the past, as we have formed an AGR team on the roads and stormwater infrastructure to facilitate the leverages on resources from sector departments. So there is a collaboration between us with number of at the provincial and also at national level, where most of the intervention from our provincial Department of Public Works, they are also assisting heavily under these circumstances. And then also with regard to refuse and water, the status there too is that we are strained regarding the waste management plan, and all the disposal sites are non-compliant to licensing requirements. I'll make an example about Ditsobotla Tlhabologang basis flay, and also Kolini. All sites do not have a proper plant and equipment. And then under these circumstances, an application was made where we will be assisted by National Department in procuring number of yellow fleet in assisting us with regard to this to deal with this particular challenge. And then also with regard to infrastructure in general, we can also submit that our infrastructure is severe in perpetuated vandalism of critical infrastructure. Like we are also experiencing a theft of our cables, and also that this particular item or this particular instance, the municipality is not spared from this kind of vandalism from this kind of vandalism, where the community engagement intervention aim of encouraging voluntary and law abiding. We under LED and housing, we've identified a number of aspects which we believe that is going to resuscitate the Ditsobotla specifically in attracting the business. And then also we've been resuscitating the SLPs with the mining industry and from the social labor plans. And then this particular social labor plans is to put or to bring the mining like the likes of Afrimet and also Sepako. And then there are a number of agreement and also meetings which the Ditsobotla has been attending with regard to bring this particular mining giants closer to the municipality to come and deal with issues which are their responsibilities under social labor plans. And also the agricultural part, also we have identified corroborated with the Department of Culture, which has been led by the MEC, with a session with the farmers in Ditsobotla Local Municipality, and also to resuscitate this grain triangle regarding the grain SA, where the grain SA will be indicating or will be coming with the programs where we will be participating in agricultural sectors. And also they've got a strategic partnership with business communities, where a number of SLA have been, specifically memorandum of understanding, has been signed on a proper collaboration in resuscitating our LED strategy. And also with regarding to housing, we also have been allocated there's also allocation from the provincial department close to the title deeds, which are more than 3,434 title deeds. There's been a particular program, and also we are resuscitating the number of issues under this particular aspect. And also, Chair, with your permission, if I proceed, we are not doing fairly under our UIF, except to say that we've got to close to combine our UIF combined amount is almost 1.4 billion. And this is as a result of the accumulated number of years which the Ditsobotla did not deal precisely with this particular UIF. And then it has been accumulating. And then to this particular point, at least after the inception of the NCR and also in the presence of our MPET chair, the item has been presented before the council, where the investigation is still ongoing, but which we believe that it might be interrupted probably by the end of the term of the current council. But however, I believe that by the time when they leave, there will be a progress, and also there will be a document which will be presented for adoption. And then also we've been having a deviations, which the deviation are therefore listed as emergency. You also, most of this particular deviation as a result of under electricity, where mainly the Ditsobotla has been hit severely with vandalism and also old infrastructure. We've also have noted that at some point we do have infrastructure which is about more than 50 or 60 years old. So with regard to, we do have a contract which has been moving on a month to month, that is a Lifeway Security Services and also CGCell and CCG. Yes, there were about 5 material irregularities, and then you will see that, Honorable Chair, that most of these material irregularities emanate from 2019 to 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2021-22 for the past up until 23-24. So some of these material irregularities has been identified as an issue which the Ditsobotla has to deal with them, but under the circumstances, a presentation was made to Auditor General where a number of them were no longer going to be pursued. But one of the notable material irregularities which a decision was taken internally that should not be repeated, it is that one of lack of proper performance and management system and records. This is one which was highly highlighted during our interaction with Auditor General, but this issue is not going to be pursued. Alternatively, the Auditor General will be on ground for auditing in this particular financial year. It's not going to be an issue with regard to that. Our implementation of audit action plan, we were not dealing, or there were issues which were indicated therefore, and in those particular issues, the municipalities definitely having some efforts where a war room has been a committee in a form of a war room where it includes the National Cabinet representative as well as ourselves as senior managers of Ditsobotla dealing with number of audit action plan, but there will be improvement of this number of paragraphs which are indicated in our audit action plan. Under the circumstances, I can safely submit that the municipality is doing fairly enough to deal with the issues which the Auditor General has raised in the past audit. And we do have matters which we believe that these particular matters also need attention from the municipality. The investigation of UIF, and then also the investigation report was presented at the municipal council where it was adopted, and then there is a progress which has been registered for under the investigation. And then with regard to consequence management, we had about 21 officials which were placed under suspension, and then we can safely submit that about 18 of those employees, they have pleaded guilty to the charges which were preferred against them. And then however, due to the mitigation of sentence, the municipality was of the view that a warning should be issued and also to be reprimanded from their conduct which they were charged for. And also I can safely submit that we had a number of pending matters, or the matters were the 3 disciplinary matters, and then 3 employees which were referred to disciplinary for disciplinary thing, and then one was only cleared from that hearing. And the other matters which are pending, we do have reports which we are currently unable to can implement due to financial constraints. It can be submitted to say, or it's our honorable submission that we are unable to can process those particular reports because of we are owing a number of service providers under the circumstances, which they are unable to can take those report or the investigation further. But the issues between ourselves it's an issue which we'll be definitely trying to resolve, specifically with the financial constraints which we have in Ditsobotla. So the 2024-2025 annual report was submitted to the Auditor General for comments. The Auditor General comments were taken into consideration and necessary changes were effected. I can also humbly submit that on 25 January 2026, the 24-25 annual report was tabled to Council in the presence of Auditor General representatives. And okay, that will be our presentation, Chair. We thank you, and then that we will end. We will pause for now until for further engagement. We will pause for now. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Executive Mayor, do you want to make any further comments?
No, Chair, we don't have further comments on this report. That is our report.
Right. No, thank you very much. Much appreciated. So can I give an opportunity to the members of both committees in case I omitted to say so in the beginning? This is a joint sitting of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts as well as the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. We have been working closely together in engaging with municipalities and metros across the country. So it is a joint sitting, hence the Honorable Dr. Mkhize co-chairing the meeting with me. So thank you very much. May I invite comments from the members or questions? So I will take 4 in the beginning. So I have noted you, Honorable Beasley, but I'm waiting for other members. Honorable Mende, you are noted. And then Honorable Bila will be 3rd. And then one more. Honorable Isaac, you will be 4th. So this round we are going to take 4. So honorable members, I will do the same as last time. I will not intervene between questions. So once Honorable Beasley is finished, Honorable Mende will immediately start. So I will only get involved if I need to. May I please remind you, Mayor and Municipal Manager and your colleagues, to determine who is going to answer with questions. So please note the questions carefully and do the allocation of who is going to deal with the questions. Please be direct in your answer, no long stories. Listen to the question carefully and answer it. And then if there are any follow-ups, I will give the members an opportunity to come back. So we'll have this round of questions. You will answer as a municipality, and then the members will get to say whether all their answers have been properly answered. So in other words, they will ask follow-up questions. So Honorable Beasley, I will hand over to you, followed by the other members. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and greetings to our guests. So my first it's a comment and a question. You've had 10 years of disclaimed audit reports, and there's no doubt that there's a linkage between the quality of audit accounts and service delivery. Are you expecting the audit report to improve any time shortly, or can we expect another 10 years of disclaimed audit reports? Because I think history shows that it's been consistently awful. So is there any expectation this year that it might change? And then I read somewhere that your CFO is an acting CFO, if that is correct. And I also read somewhere that it's like 1,800 days vacancy. I mean, surely that's not possible. How can a CFO be vacant position for so long? And then your collection rate is 47%. I mean, that's absolutely dismal. Do you think it's a function of poor service delivery that people aren't paying? And what is your budget for the current year for collection rate? And then you say there's 105 million owing by organs of state. Can you list who those organs of state are? And then you've got a pending DC matter, 3 people that you can't proceed with because of financial constraints. I mean, if these people are stealing from you, you think you'd find the financial means to do it. And if you need looking for a chairperson and initiator, surely that can become internal. And are those members of staff, are they suspended? I mean, obviously there's a cost, or that work, you know, why is it taking so long to implement disciplinary processes against these staff members? And then obviously it's a going concern. You know, as service delivery gets worse, less people are going to pay. Your going concern is going to get worse and worse. So maybe you can just talk into the going concern of the municipality. Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you, Chair. Good afternoon to everyone. Chair, my first question is on the organogram of the municipality. If the leadership of the municipality can take us through the organogram of the municipality and what are the positions that are still vacant in the municipality and why is that the case? Secondly, is there a skills audit? In terms of all the vacancies that are there, we have acting people. In terms of their skills audit, what qualifications do these people that are acting possess for them to be able and be capacitated to lead the municipality? Because the picture that was painted by the AG is such that there is no capacity, nothing whatsoever at the municipality. The next thing is the issue of the 30-day period. And the presenter from the municipality says we are owing a lot of service providers. It is a worrisome position and also declaration that they are making, because it confirms that there are services which are rendered by companies to the municipality, but they do not get paid. And I do not want to even begin to think of all the people who work for those companies that go months and months and months and not being paid. Now take us through, you are owing service providers for how long? Do you have the list of the service providers that you are owing? And what is the plan to pay those service providers? And what happens to the service that they render should they leave the site? Do you have a plan in office of how are you going to deal with such? But there is a rule of law which is straightforward, and none of us have a liberty and a privilege to just butcher it and say, no, we haven't paid people who are not in a position to pay them. Yet we expect them to render a service. I don't think Parliament can sit here and listen and then we just brush over it and say, okay, it is what it is. It is not what it is. There's a crisis. There are services that are rendered. There are services that you can't pay. The core business of the municipality is not moving, nothing whatsoever. Please take us through what is the plan there. Now, related to what Honorable Beasley was asking in terms of your collection, revenue collection, I looked at your presentation and I saw that there are government departments that are owing you. What are those departments and who has engaged them? Why they have not paid? What have you done in that aspect of them not paying? Again, I remember in Ditsobotla when you had a by-election, there was no yellow fleet even then. The municipality, when it was called upon to go and clean the streets and all of that, it had to hire the yellow plant. And then after the municipality was reconstituted, there was a pronunciation by, I think, the Minister of COGTA that there is going to be some intervention for the municipality to procure a yellow plant. Do you know what is happening to that yellow plant? Did you ever get the yellow plant? And is it working? How is it dealt with in terms of your asset register? Then there's an issue of ghost workers in your municipality, which you did not speak to. What is the investigation surrounding the ghost workers? How far are we in terms of finding out who's responsible for that? And have we now capacitated the HR in order to do a specialized audit to establish who works for the municipality and who is not working for the municipality? Again, on the revenue collection, commercials are owing you a lot of money, and there is nothing that's being paid. Electricity alone is very high in terms of commercial. Why are we not dealing with this issue of people who are not paying the municipality by making sure that we cut off the services so that they can come back and pay? Same applies to the other category. Peter, now I'm not on that page in terms of this. There's another category that you have given us, which owes you a lot of money. That's beside the residential areas where there's issues of indigence and everything else. But we have business people, and you gave us different types of business names that do not pay. The rates in particular are very high. The property rates are very high with commercial, and they are not paying. You are not getting the property rates revenue that you are supposed to be getting. Have you identified these companies, and what have you done in order to recoup what they owe the municipality? Because services do come to them, yet they do not pay, and they are in a position to be paying. Now, the AG says there's absolutely nothing that can inform her to make a finding in terms of the audit, hence the disclaimer. Yet you have had a year where you have overpaid on consultants that are dealing with annual financial statements. What were those people doing, or what was hindering them from providing financial statements that are credible in order for the Auditor General to be in a position to make a finding where the municipality is concerned? Again, you have not followed a competitive bidding on some of the contracts. There's one contract they've identified of the 3.2 million that you did not follow competitive bidding. What was that contract for? And why was the process not followed? And what happened to the people who did not follow the process? Again, you continued on a contract that had expired, which for 3.3 million. What happened in that instance? Then there is also a potential security, there's a potential financial loss on a security company. The AG at the time mentioned 16.5 million, also with the legal fees of 9.9 million, where AG could not establish if the service was actually rendered. Where are these security guards? What legal advice or legal practice and fees that were paid? What were they for? And who are these companies? And who was responsible for these things? Lately, we saw there was a circulating letter from the municipality where a security company was paid 31 million. I will share it with the committee chair. there was a security company that was paid 31 million, and seemingly this security company, no one knows who this security company is, where is it practicing, or what services is it offering, and who is paying them. Can you take us through if what is happening? And this is additional to what already the AG said there is potential financial loss of 16.5 million where their security companies are concerned within the municipality. The last thing is on MPEG. AG said the MPEG was dysfunctional. And on your presentation, you have made mention of MPEG once, that the MPEG is investigating the fruitless, wasteful, and unauthorized and every irregular expenditure. My worry is that the way you present like, no, we are complying with the finding and MPEG is investigating. But MPEG was dysfunctional at the time where AG was there. How is MPEG available now? Have it been constituted? Does it have the necessary capacity? And the Office of Finance in the municipality, who runs it? What capacity do those people have? Do they have the necessary qualification? And does the office itself have the necessary qualification? Thank you, Chair.
Good afternoon, chairpersons, colleagues. Then good afternoon to the mayor of Ditsobotla and your team. Let me join others and welcome the presentation as it has been presented to us. My first question will be on service delivery failures, chairperson. With only 31% of basic service delivery targets that have been achieved, there are no supporting evidence which was reported for those achievements. What immediate steps have you taken to ensure that reliable performance data and actual delivery is happening in the municipality? One of the core mandates of municipalities is to give services to the residents. So how will you restore public trust in service delivery, especially in critical areas like water, sanitation, and roads, given the persistent underperformance and lack of transparency? The second question will be that of the hidden unauthorized expenditure. It has been indicated that the municipality failed to disclose over 550 million in unauthorized spending. Can we hear from the municipality who authorized this omission and what disciplinary actions have been taken against those who are responsible? Because it is a man-made thing. What systems have you put in place to ensure all unauthorized, irregular, and wasteful expenditure are fully disclosed and investigated in future financial statements? Lastly, I will check on the issue of the ignored, irregular, and fruitless expenditure. Chairperson, with over 340 million in irregular expenditure and 188 million in fruitless spending in Ditsobotla municipality, why have these not been properly investigated? And what is the status of all pending investigations? Are there any steps that have been taken to ensure that the officials responsible for irregular and fruitless expenditure are held accountable? And can you please provide examples of the recent disciplinary actions? I will pause here for now, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Isaac?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I was just waiting for some guidance. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon to everybody present on the meeting. Chairperson Mkhize also. Chairperson, yeah, lots has been asked and said, and I'm trying to obviously keep my composure. You will realize, and colleagues will realize, this is another emotionally distressing report that we have to deal with from time to time. I will attempt not to cover what has already been covered by my colleagues, the previous three colleagues, but I'll get stuck into it and try to be as concise as I possibly can. So my question, of course, firstly is to His Excellency, the Mayor Murutsi. Mayor, this one is for you. Please to give us a concise answer when your turn comes. I'd like to understand why is the MPAC committee, which my colleague alluded to, dysfunctional? I recall when reading the report that there is only one individual that is employed in that portfolio or committee, however it might be. I'd like to just understand that what is the situation of this dysfunctional MPAC committee? Then municipal manager, I'm not too sure how long you're the municipal manager there, but perhaps you'll inform the committee. I'd also like to hear I'd like to hear more about the procurement of the generators for some 25 million rand, which has been alluded to in the AGSA report. And then, of course, this one is for the MM also, so that they can get their notes correctly. The AGSA reported that the accounting officer's response to the material irregularity was still outstanding at the end of the 24-25 financial year. Can you please brief the committee as to what has been the municipality or your responses to the AGSA thus far? Then, of course, I think this was touched on, but I'd just like to reiterate. The municipality salary bill is currently running at 50% of its total budget. Its total annual budget, salaries are paid out 50%. Now, again, I'd like a concise explanation that how do you plan to run this municipality when your salaries bill is running at 50%? How much does that leave you for operations and for maintenance and for procurement? My colleague did touch on the contract of the consultants. My question on that one is, has the municipality got a contract with these consultants? Do you go out on tender? Because I honestly think when you look at the last 4 or 5 years reports, something needs to be done about this cut and paste exercise as far as the financial statements are concerned. Because it's very, very clear and obvious that they, with due respect, but whoever is preparing these financial statements, municipal manager, honorable mayor, I think one needs to look at that on a serious note. I mean, we can all see very clearly from the reports that, without doubt, and this is a comment, that the municipality is in total ICU, without doubt. I mean, there's so much happening in this municipality. It's in total disarray. So, Honorable Beasley touched on what is your collection rate. I will then ask you, municipal manager, seeing that you are the accountable officer, what do you think, and honestly, sir, is currently your water loss in this municipality in the last 12 months? What do you think is your loss in terms of electricity? I mean, it's very clear in terms of your purchases as against your collection rate. What do you think is currently now the loss on electricity? And then finally, Chairperson, I want to conclude and ask, is there anybody in the municipality currently that is on full suspension pending investigations that is collecting a full salary? If so, how many individuals are there and to what amount does this extend to monthly? Thank you for the opportunity, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Isaac, and it's really great to see you behaving for a change. Honorable Mayor and colleagues, if you could deal with the questions of the members in the order in which they came. What you are allowed to do is to also deal with them thematically, depending on who's dealing with them. So in other words, if you've nominated someone to deal with a matter, so they can cut across different members. So I'm going to hand over to you, Mayor, and your team to deal with the members. So again, I want to encourage you to be direct in answering the questions, get straight to the point. I will give the members an opportunity to ask follow-up questions, and if they are not satisfied that the question has been answered, they will tell you. So over to you, Mayor.
No, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I will start with the matter that was raised by Honorable Member on MPEC. Chair, I think we must agree with the member that during the time of audit, we had MPEC not functional. But as a result of that, we have taken action to ensure that we have a functional MPEC, and I think we also employed a person with legal qualifications in MPEC and ensured that we also have a researcher with proper qualifications in ensuring that we empower MPEC. So therefore, it must be noted that we have empowered MPEC, and I hope that in the coming audit, we will be okay. And also, MPEC is doing its work. It is meeting. We are also expecting an oversight report to be presented in the next council. Chairperson, I will be giving to the National Cabinet representative. As you know that we are under Section 1397 of the Constitution, I'll be giving to Ndate Kopungadi Kontsani, who will be the one answering most of questions that are posed because we are under Section 1397. So I'll be giving to Ndate Kontsani to answer most of questions that are posed. Thank you very much. Ndate Kontsani.
Yeah, Chair, I'm struggling to get my audio back here, but the mayor has decided to launch the NCR because I thought we will indicate how the colleagues here from the CFO and going down will deal with these issues. But let me deal with issues that were raised by Honorable Mente, and then I will just a few issues there, and then I will deal with some of the issues that were raised by Honorable Isaac. Honorable Mente, there are two issues relating to this matter, and the issue that you are raising is relating to the acting people. Well, let me first start with the organogram. There's an approved organogram in the institution. And that organogram makes provision for closer to 720 people. And there are also discussions with Ngaka Molema, which is a water services authority, especially in relation to the water people that find themselves in the water component. Every time when we say Ditsobotla is having more than 200 people on top of the number that it needs to have, that Ditsobotla itself is overstaffed, and that there are more workers than we need. We do sometimes mean that there are a lot of workers in the water component who we are negotiating with Ngaka Molema now relating to that process. And we are hopeful that in an agreement, when we have finalized our SLA, a considerable number of officials will be appointed in Ngaka Molema. This will take the entire number of employees in the municipality to closer to 500 or higher, a little bit, 500, 550. And that will help to a great extent. That will help us to a great extent in as far as the workers are concerned. It will reduce our employee cost considerably because it's unaffordable for 725 employees in the municipal space. So the organogram is approved. Council were intended to review it, but they agreed that we are now too closer to the municipal elections, and the organogram will be reviewed in January as part of our adjustment budget, so that we can make decisions relating to that. The municipality, and this will answer across, has got 5 vacancies in senior management. And we should indicate that it has been very difficult because of the personnel expenditure cost, which is one of our critical responsibilities as members of the National Cabinet Representative Team, to ensure that we stabilize the municipality from the employee cost point of view. And that's why we are negotiating strongly with Ngaka Molema to take especially a bigger component of the water employees. So the municipality was unable to afford the payment of senior managers. And therefore, that's why there has been an active managers for a long period of time. Even now, you can see our collection is an issue. We have tried to stabilize the municipality that we pay employees every month. It was not an easier issue in the past. We're trying to ensure that we stabilize workers are paid every month, but to a very serious extreme. Even now, we are negotiating with a number of third parties to try and create mechanisms of how do we pay what we owe for some months back, pension funds and other related components. So filling these vacancies a few months ago would have created a bigger problem for the municipality. However, now in the last week or two, we have advertised the positions. We can make those adverts available to the secretariat, so that we can now start recruiting and filling the 5 positions. We think that it is time, having tried to stabilize the resources of the municipality. The CFO later on will talk about a payment of service providers within 30 days. And we will share the register with the committee secretariat. You will see that we owe people a lot of money over time, which got cumulative. Lawyers, as has been indicated here, various security companies here that came in and out. Every municipal manager was coming in, was almost appointing a new security firm, and we start owing the other one that was there. You may have been aware that this was a big problem in our area. Other people have assisted us with electricity, and sometimes we do contest that some of them have taken us to court, and we are contesting the charges relating to that. So there are various reasons why we still owe people. And because of our own situation, we survive on equitable share. During the month of March, National Treasury paid into our account our equitable share, 47 million, and then SARS took 46 million the following day. So we had to survive with this 1 million plus our own collection for the next 3 months to be able to deal with it. So we are unable to service our debts. Some we are making arrangements, as I've indicated already, with some institutions that we have made arrangement with so that we are able to pay them. These are the two questions that I thought I will deal with them from. The yellow fleet, Honorable Mente, the national government through MIG reallocation gave Ditsobotla 30 million. This 30 million, it is still in our bank account, and we are preparing to pay it back. We were in a procurement process to procure urgently this yellow fleet, especially specialized vehicle for waste management, and including some of the yellow fleet and even the white fleet for purposes of being used by the workers. Unfortunately, the Minister of Treasury, or the Minister of Finance, has not signed off the Gazette to authorize us to use this money of reallocation. I'm sure Honorable Mkhize is aware that it is a national-wide problem where some money was taken from another municipality, distributed to another municipality, and Treasury officials authorized that money be paid over. But the minister did not sign the Gazette because he didn't agree with allocations. We are engaged in National Treasury and COGTA, and we are hopeful that now, late August, we might be able to be authorized to use some of the resources at our disposal with the intention that there will be a reallocation of the same amount. That's the promise that we are getting from the Minister of Finance. One of our bigger tasks here was to look at the ghost workers. It was a matter that was also in our terms of reference. And I must indicate that there's always been a wrong understanding of what we said we've done with the 45 workers that we terminated here. These were in December. These were not ghost workers. They were here, but our view was that the work that they do, there are people that are already doing this work. It's just duplicate employees. They are on contract, and we terminated those contracts. And now people keep on calling them the ghost workers, when our explanation was that these were contracted workers, their contracts were terminated. There is still a payroll assessment that is being done to establish as to whether everybody is gainfully employed, and we've requested also the provincial COGTA to assist us in that space. And I'm sure, because this matter of ghost workers has gone for a longer time in the public space, I thought I should be able just to address it once and for all. I'd indicated that Honorable Isaac was talking about the mayor has addressed the issue of the MPEC. I thought this issue of generators keeps on coming, and the municipality has attempted to deal with it, Honorable Isaac, that we are a water services provider. There is a water scheme here called the Klepfeld scheme. That water scheme is being managed by Nakamuri Molema because they are a water services authority. So they bought generators on behalf of Ditsobotla. So procurement, all the work and everything has happened from Nakamuri Molema. Ditsobotla are just merely beneficiaries of the water that comes from the Klipveld water scheme, which is about 48 boreholes at that level. So we've requested on a few occasions that all questions relating to these generators must really be directed to Ngaka Mulema. Ditsobotla, we've looked at that. They were never involved in the procurement processes in relation to that process. Honorable members, here we live from hand to mouth. And we are sometimes embarrassed that service delivery has gone down because service delivery also goes with funding. Cars, service delivery vehicles are not working because there are no resources. We've been pleading, working with the provincial government. If you saw the one slide that the municipal manager presented, talks to roads that have been dealt with now by Provincial Department of Public Works. The Deputy Minister of Transport has brought in here Sandral to assist us with other roads. The Provincial Department of Public Works is dealing with the Bias Nodia Road. They are in a procurement stage now, which is the road that led to Clover leaving us here. So from a service delivery perspective, people are asking, why is this intervention here? Precisely because we know Ditsobotla does not have money and we need national intervention. And sometimes it is seen as a perverse incentive because they are saying, oh, okay, every municipality can distract their own municipality and hope that they will get national money. So we are instructed here, use their money to change the situation, but there's no money to do so currently from a service delivery perspective. And I thought I should just put that into perspective, and the MM will deal with a few other questions that have been raised. And the NCR member responsible for finance, there was an indication that we are a team of 8 here, led by me as the National Cabinet representative. They will also assist in dealing with some of the questions. The CFO, the acting CFO will also do so. Now, I also want to deal with the situation of Ditsobotla from the capacity, the qualifications of people acting over time. We have had a situation where some of the members that were acting were not even approved by the MEC for finance, because sometimes we do use them in an area where it is not of their qualification, but more senior to be able to do so. You'll find sometimes a former acting CEO being in the infrastructure space, just because that individual can assist us in terms of MIG and engagement, financial calculations, and so on, because there are no senior managers or engineers, even middle managers, that can be able to act from that perspective. And you look at a manager that can be able to assist you in that space. The acting CFO is a second D. So he is not subjected to the regulations that govern the municipal employees in terms of appointment. He's a second D of the national department. He's appointed by a national treasury. And we have been able to use him for some time now. The unfortunate part with other officials is that you must rotate them, given the fact that you are limited by the Municipal Systems Act in terms of the period that those individuals can act in the space, 3 months, and rotate them and so on. It is a cumbersome process. It is not assisting us in terms of overall management. And I thought I should raise those constraints that we are dealing with, but we had to survive on day-to-day basis until now. When we advertise these positions, we are also getting a pushback from those others who think that they are potential councillors. They are saying, why should the current councillors appoint senior managers on their behalf? But we are saying government is not stopping because we are going to an election. We hope that the council will be able to look at this matter, assist the NCR to appoint a panel that will be able to dispose of those those 5 positions, and the machinery will be oiled when the other new councillors come to the space. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Over to the municipal manager. Amen.
Thank you, NCR. I'm of the view that NCR has covered almost about 40 to 50% of other questions which were asked, but I will deal with the issue on the pending disciplinary matters. The pending disciplinary matters, those particular employees were charged in their previous capacity as acting municipal managers in different times and years. And the investigations were done and an investigation report were concluded. And then the unfortunate part, because of specifically under the line item of legal fees, the individuals were the chairperson as well as the initiator were appointed. And then they've also been handling number of cases or other matters not related to this one. And we are unable to pay a certain amount of fees in that particular regard. But these other issues or some of the things were stalled up until the stage where the reports were given. You shall remember that, Honorable Chair, that at the time of the introduction of the NCR team, we had to do a handover report. And then also these are the reports which were handed over, and then a number of reports which were taken. But the reports were submitted whereby it is required for us to proceed with the next step. So they were not suspended. Some of them, 2 of them are back at office, but they are doing their substantive job, which they were appointed for. So under the circumstances, there's no hindrances to their activities and also the functioning of the municipality. So on the issue on the payments within a period of 30 days, which was raised by Honorable Mente, we are aware, and also the NCR has touched on this particular point. The municipality, specifically from the municipal management, we have created a cash management committee. This is a committee with terms of references, and we are attending to a number of service providers which have not been paid on the system. And then we can safely submit also that some of this, they coming from for the past 3 years. And then what the municipality is doing, this committee is it has a binding findings, which we believe that if it is properly and actually followed or implemented, the resolution thereto will be dealing with our creditors list. And then what is need to be done, the NCR, the report will be submitted to the NCR for concurrence and also for final submission, and which will lead to payments thereto. And also the issue on the qualifications, I believe that the NCR has touched, but I can also safely submit that the number of individuals which were seconded, or the number of people who were acting in this particular position, they possess necessary skills and knowledge to execute the duties which they've been delegated to. And then the NCR has touched on the issue of the second D in the form of acting CFO, where he was seconded by the National Treasurer, but it's not from the municipality as indicated therein. With regard to the UIF, one can submit that for this particular council, which came to operation in 2021 and 2020 and 2026, there has been a number of acting individuals. And then these acting individuals, they acted in different capacities. And then I can safely also submit that I was appointed in 2024, August, 2024, July. I've been here for the past 2 years. And then before my appointment, there were about 11 acting municipal managers in this particular position. So in investigation of UIF, sometimes it becomes so complex and difficult. And also every time that also the motion of no confidence which we have passed, there will be motion of no confidence passed on the chairperson of MPEC And then those particular changes affected the progress in terms of investigation. So the change management and then also secondment by the provincial government in the past also led to some of the delay in investigating this. So the municipality for the past, since last year, March 2025, at least the MPEC chair is the same MPEC chair who has been sitting in this particular position. And then with the efforts which the municipality did, he has been doing or executing some of his responsibilities, which we believe that he was taking the municipality or is taking the municipality towards a particular direction. There was a question which on the issue on the generator, it has been submitted, and also on the question of how long I've been the municipal manager. I've indicated that I've been here since 2024, July. With regard to the salary bill, the unfortunate part is we do have a binding contracts with number of individuals. And then the municipality, unfortunately, some of the individuals have been not resigning, but going on pension, and those positions were not filled. And with regard to the salary wage bill also, the municipality has not been filling in some of the positions which we believe that are not critical, but we are only filling the positions which are critical to service delivery. And then the only thing which we are going to monitor the wage bill, it is also to monitor the overtime and standbys, which we've been doing fairly well under the circumstances that our overtime has been reduced to, it has been 40 hours, and it has been reduced to 20 hours in this instance. So the water loss and electricity loss, the Ditsobotla, with regard to the electricity loss, we are not doing fairly enough with regard to our billing, and then we are unable to can say the right percentage, but it is estimated as 55% electricity loss, which we are unable under the circumstances to can put a finger and be able to can put a quantified or a percentage, accurate percentage. With regard to the issue of competitive bidding and continuity contracts regarding the legal fee security company, and also the information which has been said that has been circulating, I'm of the view that maybe that document, we were told that it is not an official document, but is a document which has been bearing the municipal logo. But if needs be, it can be a resolution that the municipality to submit an accurate figures with regard to the accuracy of the information which has been circulating in the media regarding the 31 million which has been paid to, or allegedly has been paid to, the security company. I'm not sure, but the CFO can also maybe assist in number of other financial related questions. I believe that you'll be able to can assist with regard to that. CFO, acting CFO through the mayor.
CFO.
No, thank you, Honorable Mayor. Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson and members of the committee. Just to answer a question in regards to the improvement of the audit, is that what we are currently doing, Chair, is that we don't have any expectations in terms of the improvement of the audit. But what we have done, Chair, is that we are now going back to the basics. I mean, basics, when I talk about basics, is that conducting your monthly reconciliation on your control accounts. And what we have done is that we have created a working paper for this financial year that to say to AG that we're going to submit a TB, a GL, and audit and EFSs that type and working schedules that talk to each other. Because that's important where the audit starts. If you don't get that right, it already gives a red flag with Auditor General but we are saying this financial year is that we're going to give a proper set that talks to the TB, the GL, and the annual financial statement, also with the working paper, so that we know that we don't create any issues with age in terms of the high-level review of the annual financial statement. Also, what we have done, we have a checklist that we have prepared ways where we conduct a review in terms of our disclosures in line with GRAP and also in line with the MFMA standards. So basically, that's what we've done in terms of this current financial year's preparation of the annual financial statement. I can also confirm that last night we did submit the audit report, the audit file to Provincial Treasury for review on completed components, so that we can get an assurance in terms of the completed components on the annual financial statements. And then in terms of the organs of state, the organs of state owes us 105 million. And then in terms of the categories that we have, health sitting at 400,000. We have public works sitting at 15 million, which 10 million is disputed. The dispute is because mainly on the SDFs. Provincial public works is saying that they can't pay for state domestic facilities that are not under the name. So what we have done is that we have done an item to cancel for us to transfer those SDFs so that they can be now under the name of public works, so that this dispute can be now resolved going forward. But it's something that we are working closely with the department. And then the third one is education. Education is broken down into two parts, which is your schools and offices. On the schools is that they're owing us 25 million on the schools, and then on the offices they're owing us 500,000, which there's no dispute between the two amounts at Department of Education. The National Public Works, there's an amount that they're owing us at 19 million, which they're disputing an amount of 13.5 million. This is also in terms of the SDFs, where we have submitted the breakdown of all these properties. And then we did get the response from National Public Works last month in terms of the verification on this state domestic facilities, saying that they're under the name of Public Works, Provincial Public Works, but not under the National Public Works. So it's something that we are trying to resolve and ensure that we clear as soon as possible, that these monies can also be paid. And then also we have Transnet, which is sitting at 3.9 million, which there's no dispute on this one. And also 1 million, there's no dispute. Then we also have rural development sitting at 7 million, which 34 million is disputed. This is basically on the tribal land. So there's a dispute that they've launched by rural government. So what we have done in terms of the recovery chair is that with collaboration with Provincial Treasury, they've activated what we call a revenue government debt forum, which has started last month in July, where we have a working session with all these various departments, where we conduct reconciliations, where we flag all these issues that have been raised, and we come up with the resolutions. And I think I can confirm that we have said more than 4 times in terms of these working sessions with collaboration with Provincial Treasury. So we are working hands-on with Provincial Treasury to ensuring that we resolve these issues that are disputed, and also resolving issues that payment, because I know there's a directive that was issued that equitable share of the various departments will be withheld as well, so that they can also ensure that municipalities get paid. So we are working hand in hand with Provincial Treasury to ensure that we recover these monies that are owed by us, by the governments. And then also to answer the question on why we couldn't disclose the UFNW disclosure notes. I think this pertains is that in terms of historically, there were no supporting documents in terms of our registers and all those things. And obviously what was disclosed previously is that we couldn't get those registers. But now what we have done is that we have now reconstructed those registers. We had to go back, especially on unauthorized, we had to go back years to reconstruct these registers to ensure that when AG comes, that we can now support what we disclose on AFSs. So that part we have done. I think we have, like I said yesterday, we have submitted an audit file, which is both those UFNW registers are included in our audit file for review by Provincial Treasury. So we are trying by all means, Chair, that we ensure that we disclose this UFNW registers and that they are in line with your MFMA Circular 68, so that we ensure that we are fully compliant in terms of the disclosure. And then in terms of collection rate, Chair, yes, it's true that we are not doing well in terms of our collection rate. That is currently sitting at 47%. But what we have done, Chair, is that we have legacy issues. I mean, when I talk about legacy issues that relates to our billing system, we have uncovered or discovered that there are issues that where there are no proper reconciliations done in terms of the age analysis. So currently what we have did, Chair, is that we have implemented what we call a debt incentive scheme, where we have brought or we have alerted the community that they must come forward, and we ensure that we address all these issues that are disputing in terms of your absolute amounts that have been charged. Even in our presentation, we have even raised the issue of incorrect tariffs linked to the income types. So we are currently ensuring that in terms of this debt incentive scheme, it's assisting us in terms of first, to correct the billing. Secondly, is to ensure that there's a completeness test in terms of all the properties are being built in line with our valuation role. So we are working hand in hand with also Provincial Treasury just to assist us in terms of the reconciliation of the valuation role, so that we are billing our customers correctly. And then secondly is that we have what we have done, Chair, is that there's an item that was sent to council to ensure that where meters were not read, and now meters were, because we find that there's customers that have not have meters been read for many years, for almost 10 years. And now when the customer comes forward, now the amount goes up. So we have done a resolution, an item to council, which was approved, so that we have a methodology in terms of how do we resolve these observation amounts, so that we can also clear this disputes and ensure that people come pay. And then lastly, in terms of that, is that what we have done in the next few months, we're going to implement what we call a self-serve portal. Remember, in the past that there's been issues where customers don't get statements or account statements. So what we have done, we're going to create a self-service portal that where customers will have now access directly from the comfort of the home in terms of the statements, so they can view the statements, even lodge disputes on that portal, so that we ensure we track and ensure that we are ahead in terms of resolving this dispute. I think maybe in terms of also the issue of security and legal, what AG have raised is that they couldn't quantify the occurrence of expenditure. So in that regard, the reason was that there were no registers or rosters that were attached to the payment vouchers. But what we've done in this financial year is that every payment that is done that is linked to the security company, we ensure that those rosters are signed and approved by the end user department, so that when AG comes on the ground, they can confirm those expenditure has been occurred. And also in terms of legal cost, the reason is that what AG raised is that in terms of our contingent liability, we couldn't, most of the what we have disclosed is that in the year under review is that most of the litigations were based on payments. So if payments were made in this financial year, the municipality will record it under contingent, but they won't record it when the legal matter started. So what we have done, we have now cleared or reviewed and ensured that this contingent register is in line with what the REGI has raised in terms of the issues. So we have cleared this component in terms of the contingent liabilities to ensure that all the legal matters are affected in our financial statement, not necessarily being affected by payment, but also affected the day we have received the court order or the court application. So we have done quite a lot of work in terms of the litigations And then we hope that in this current financial year audit, we should have removed that finding. I hope you have answered all the questions that relates to BTO. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I'm just going to hand over to the NCR Finance to close on a few matters that were not covered. And then I think he'll be the last one on issues of finance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Executive Mayor, and good afternoon to the committee members. I think most of the questions are substantially covered, Chair, except one or two. Maybe just to expand on what the CFO has indicated is that in order to deal with the material irregularities which AG raised, one of the key was that the municipality did not have documentation or records that they could present to AG. As indicated by the CFO, we have started from back 5 years back to compile the records and do the registers so that whatever amount that will be lying on our financial statements, we are able to substantiate and support. Also, what we have done is regarding the opening balances, is to engage the previous service provider for the financial system so that it can give us the data that he has for the municipality in order for us to deal with the opening balances that will substantiate the transaction that took place during those financial year. The other issue that has been left out was the issue of the deviation. The member indicated that there's huge amount of deviations from your normal supply chain processes. The two deviations that took place was around the electricity supply, wherein the municipality could not follow normal supply chain processes to recruit the company that was dealing with I think at the stage, in terms of the disclosure, it was the substation that blew, wherein most of the town did not have electricity. So two companies at various stages were requested to deal with those problems, which was done through deviation. The deviation has been reported to council, and in addition, is part of the report that went to MPEC for further scrutiny, and also to look at the reasons that we have advanced as far as that is concerned. What we can also indicate is that, as the CFO has indicated, we will be submitting financial statements on time. We do have the first draft that we are busy reviewing, together with supporting documentation and all the lead schedules that we have developed in order for them to support the figures that we have as a municipality. There was a question asked as to if you do a barometer test, where are we standing? What is the outcome that we envisage as a municipality? We are working hard because these are our last days of preparation. There are components that are still giving us a gray hair, but we are consulting. For instance, I think there's payables, there's long outstanding invoices that started when before Mahali's Water took over as a water board there. So we are going back that time to get hold of those supporting documentation. There's also an issue of revenue. As stated, we do have billing problems that affect even the straight application of the debt scheme that we have, due to the fact that for some time, the municipality did not read the meters. And when we read the meters now, we do have a lot of queries that are coming forward, which when meters are captured on the system, the bills of consumers goes up. But however, We've had several community meetings with the consumers, encouraging them to come forward so that we can look at the accounts on an individual basis. Because our position is that to deal with the matter, as the CFO has indicated, we did introduce the debt incentive scheme, which is 60-40 and then 35-65, wherein we are saying we do acknowledge as a municipality that there's errors on the accounts as a result of us not doing what we are supposed to do. But at the same time, there's also an oversight from consumers in terms of payments. Now, how do we meet each other halfway? And I think the last one that I can talk to quickly, I think is deviation. Yeah, Chairperson, I was ticking as they were answering. Most of the questions have been answered, unless if there's further follow-up. Thank you, Executive Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think that we have dealt with everything that was asked. I'm handing over to you, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much for the answer. So may I ask that, so at the beginning I had, I mean, I don't want to intervene while you are speaking, but it's taken you a very long time to go through all the questions. So the only thing I will say for everybody, particularly yourselves, that concise answers are more helpful for everyone. And we appreciate the detail, but I think what would assist is if a direct answer is given and then some supporting answers, that would be helpful. Otherwise, the committee members don't mind going on until 10-11, which has happened before. So the only thing I'm appealing for is that you colleagues try and be concise in your answers. I know the members ask a lot of questions, but thematically, the questions tend to cover the same areas. May I give the members that asked the questions an opportunity to raise follow-up issues, and then we will go to the next set of members. So we will go through the follow-ups. Honorable Mente, I think you're the only one with the follow-up from the first round, that is, unless I'm making a mistake.
Yeah, kunjalo, Chair. Chair, there is some areas or rather gaps in the answers where I'm not getting a satisfaction. Let's go back to revenue collection of the municipality and go to the slide where they are presenting the revenue. I think it's slide 10 of their presentation. In that presentation, there is a company, or rather, I don't know whether it's an organization, which is called Scotland and Tlabulugang. There's no collection, nothing whatsoever. Does that mean this company doesn't owe the municipality? There's 3.8 million. There's nothing collected. Now, let's go to commercials. There might not be a reconciliation in terms of the books, and then the lack of, or rather, not reading water meters. But property rates have got their own determination in terms of their rate. Each property has got its own determination, which is not dependent on a reading of anything. This is what a property owner or a business owner must pay. And commercials are owing 23 million, collection 5 million. So where is that gap at? What is happening? Because this can't be a failure. These people, in terms of rates, are owing 23 million. Collection is 5 million. Which of these commercial companies, organizations are not being collected and why they are left to not pay. I'm saying this, Chair, because this is deja vu, where we're saying, no, we'll go back and the people will then declare and then we'll reconcile and all of that. I can already see here there's a protection of some of the companies, that some companies will write their debt off, and then we all know what happens when such things happen, of writing other people's debt off, or rather protecting them to a point where the debt is absolute and then the council has to write it off. Again, if you look at the total of what is owed under commercials, it's 37 million, which a bigger amount is from the rates and taxes. It's 37 million, collection is 13 million. The gap is too much. It's not explained exactly what is the problem, what is the shortfall, why are we not collecting from the people who can pay? And if you go to the next slide, Chair, slide 11, where it gives a clear summary of who's who. Organ of States says from 0 to 30 days is 11 million. That has been explained clearly. And there, we are not ambiguous about how much is being owed by who, where, and all the disputes are not the disputes that say municipality, we don't owe you. Is the issues of I rent this one, it doesn't belong to me, belong to that one, which that can be dealt with elsewhere. But there is no question about the municipality is being owed. There is some concise answer as the municipality is being owed. The matter is who owes the municipality, is a person renting or the one who owes the building, and all those things. Commercials is 49 million, 0 to 30 days. But in terms of the previous slide, there's some wishy-washy thing that I don't understand. You are concise here. 0 to 30 days is this month. You have already investigated. You know there are no reconciliation. You have already intervened. Now you are reconciling. You are reading the meter. You are giving proper things. There's 49 million that's owed by the commercial, 0 to 30 days. This, can you say to us for sure that this 49 million come the end of the month, because this is 0 to 30 days, meaning which today is you may not have sent those, even though it's the 12th of the month, you may not have sent the invoices out, the billing invoices out to these commercials. But can you say for sure that at the end of this month, this is what you will be collecting from these commercial companies? Because if that is what you will be collecting, and you know for sure in this 0 to 30 days, it means the municipality can collect revenue. It means the municipality is in a position to do the right thing, but the municipality just does not have the will to do the right thing where service delivery is concerned, and the shortfall thereof, which must pay service providers, which must pay for services, water, and the roads. Again, come to the household. You are not telling us exactly what is the indigent register pertaining to the 145 million that the households are owing the municipality. How much of this must be written off, knowing for sure what is the unemployment rate and the poverty levels of Ditsobotla? We all know the structure of Ditsobotla, the demographics and everything. And just yesterday, we were told of the highest levels of unemployment. Do we know how much of these households cannot pay at all, and all of that? And then what is then other? There's other who owes the municipality 20 million. This is now on the much more clarified and summarized version, which is on the page 11. The last one, Chair, which I didn't get an answer clearly, is where the AG says you did not follow competitive bidding for the 3.2 million contract. The contract is not specified on our documents. And on your side, you know for sure what contract was this. What happened to that case? The expired contract of 3.3 million, which was still running. What was that contract? And who extended it without following the due process? Then the potential loss and everything. Yes, you are telling us now that you are doing the right thing. You are including the attendance registers or rosters and everything else. But at the time of AG being there was already 16.5 million that could not be accounted for. You have acted now, intervention. We agree, we accept that. But that time there was 16.5 million that could not be accounted for. How did you account for that, and how did you reconcile and satisfy yourself that the 16.5 million indeed was spent for the municipality, is not money spent in vain, equally to the legal fees? Yes, you have lawyers that are doing everything because people are taking you to court for not paying them, which you should be paying for that yourselves individually, not the municipality. But the AG says I could not find proof of the 9.9 million, which is attributed to legal fees. And they could not find proof of what exactly are the functions that were rendered by these legal experts in the municipality. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Can you get the other members to do their follow-up so we can get them responded to, then we go to the next round? Other than Honorable Mente, was there anyone else who wanted to do a follow-up on the previous responses? Okay, let's just get the response to this one, then we can proceed to the next set of hands.
Thank you very much. Let me hand over to the CFO. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah. Just to answer the questions that were asked, is that in terms of the issue raised by the honourable member, issues that regards to the Scotland. Scotland it's an area within the jurisdiction of the municipality, which is a rural area, hence that's why there's no collection in terms of that area. So it's an area, not a company. And then also in terms of commercials, what is that we have done, Chair, is that we are basically saying, Chair, that we know we have legacy issues in terms of our billing. And then what we have done is that we have started engagements with commercials, and we can confirm that we are getting joy in terms of these businesses that are owing us. We are trying by all means to ensure that we can collect as much as we can, and also trying to reconcile their accounts, because obviously they also launch disputes in terms of issues that relates to electricity and other service charges. But also in terms of property rates, there was a dispute that is launched that at some time the municipality has had increased the property rate tariff. So which also we are trying to correct and ensure that we ensure that the commercials pay the services in terms of the issues that they've raised. And then also in terms of the households, yes, Chair, we do also have an indigent register, where also the indigent register, we have a list of 6,000 indigents on our register. However, in terms of the registers that we are also trying to update, Chair, in terms of also having the supporting documents in terms of ensuring that we align in terms of what AG also raised in terms of indigent, because we've also cleared the duplicates that were on the indigent register that were there. So we are trying to ensure that we clear this one. And then issues that relates to then issues that relates to the security costs. Yes, Chair, I think AG has raised the issue in terms of the non-occurrence of the amount. But what we have done, Chair, is that we ensure that we receive we ensure that one is that does the contractor have an appointment letter? Does why the procurement process is followed in terms of the services? If that is the case that was not followed, Chair, is that we have taken a liberty that some of this cost were going to be written off, Chair, in terms of ensuring that they must go back and ensure that they give us the full documentation that we require in terms of the security services. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think we were able to answer all questions that were posed. Thank you very much.
Okay, I thought the question was, what was the contract and who was it to? That question was the contract which was awarded without following procedure. Do you have a knowledge of the contract?
On the issue of contract, the journey.
Thank you, Executive. Thank you, Mayor. Chairperson, the legacy contract that have been stated on the presentation, there's two, there's three actually, on slide 20. One is CGCell, which is the vendor for prepaid facility of the municipality, which for some time the municipality did not go out on tender to recruit the new service provider. So it's one of the legacy contracts that we have. However, what we have done, Chair, is that due to the fact that and with the problems that the municipality is experiencing, we have engaged ESCOM. There's an agreement signed, a DAA agreement is signed with ESCOM. Part of the package that is in the agreement is to deal with the issue of the prepaid facilities, which will then see to the end of this company, which is CGCell, which has been doing prepaid vending for the municipality for quite some time. The other two is the security services. We have compiled a specification to go out on advert to recruit security services for the municipality. That is also coupled with the financial management system, which is CCG. We have also compiled the specifications so that we go out on tender to recruit new companies. What we missed a little bit is when the member was referring to the 16 million, because in terms of the deviations that we have here, it amounts to 12.2 million. But however, Chairperson, for the sake of time, I would suggest that perhaps we be given an opportunity to go and look at precisely the companies or the items which were on the previous audit report and respond appropriately in terms of the question that the member has asked. And of course, just to expand a little bit on the member indicated, which I do agree with, that property rates, it's an easier kind of revenue for the municipality. But what we have here in Ditsobotla is that there's a dispute launched by Sakelecha. Most of the companies, they are currently not paying property rates to the municipality. They are paying to a agency. They've opened a sort of a trust account wherein they are paying money pending the resolution of the dispute that they have with the municipality. And this dispute is around the fact that the municipality, when they were compiling tariffs in the previous financial year, they had a different rate that they proposed that they will use or they will increase the tariff with. However, when the budget was approved, the tariff was different. Hence, Sakalecha has gone to court in that level, and they've declared the dispute. And yes, it's true is that part of the money that we should be receiving as a municipality is still lying on the trust account that they've opened, pending the outcome of that case that the NCR is busy with and the legal services chair. Thank you very much.
I thought you'd explain why you changed the rate, why you changed the figures. Do you have an explanation for it?
Chairperson, sorry for the echo. Chairperson, in terms of what we have gathered as the NCR team is that there was during public participation, the municipality went out on public to say they will increase the tariff, for argument's sake, to 0.2. But when COGTA and did the assessment on the tariff, using the tariff tool that the municipality must apply, they advised the municipality that the tariff that they are using is too low. So at the council meeting where the budget was approved, council then took or applied the advice that COGTA gave them. Hence, in the eyes of the consumer, it will be like you said to us, you are going to increase the tariffs with 0.2. However, now we are receiving our accounts, and our accounts are saying 0.27 for argument's sake. So that is the information that we have shared with them, how the municipality came into that, and still they decided to go ahead and declare a dispute around that. But that's where we are, Chairperson.
Thank you. Let's deal with the next round of questions. We start with Honorable Sukhosana, and then followed by Neil May, then go to Dai Bosch, and then to Shara Singh. If we can follow that order.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good afternoon to everyone in the meeting, in particular the delegation from Ditsobotla Local Municipality, as led by the Honorable Mayor. We really appreciate an opportunity to have a conversation with them. Just few questions from my side. The issue of audit outcome, the issue of receiving 10 disclaimers or receiving disclaimers for 10 years. I think it's something very bad and unacceptable. And I understand from what as I was following their presentation, I understand that the municipal manager has been there at least for 2 years, since 2024. And my understanding is that when you apply for a post, you obviously do some research before applying, and more so when you are supposed to go to the interview about the institution that you want to work at. So I believe that the municipal manager, I think he was aware when going to Ditsobotla that this is a municipality that maybe at that time it was having 7 or 8, maybe it was having 8 disclaimers, I think. So I think he would have had an opportunity to think as to how is he going to turn around the situation. Having inherited it with all its weaknesses, with all the disclaimers that were already there, but I believe that he would have thought about it and thought of strategies of turning it around. And now he has been there for 2 years. Secondly, we've got the national cabinet rep, because the municipality, like the mayor indicated, is under section 137. 1377. I mean 1397. Now, and then we've got a CFO who has been seconded, I assume, by the national government. Now, but when I'm listening to the three of you, when I'm listening to the national cabinet rep, when I'm listening to the municipal manager, and when I'm listening to the CFO, I'm not getting confidence that you are going to turn the situation around soon. In fact, we're listening to the CFO. The CFO says, no, we are working. However, we can't promise you anything. It means since you are there, CFO, you have not reached a stage where you know how to turn around the situation, where you now understand where is the problem and how to turn around the situation. Because the way you are talking is that you are working, however, you can't promise us anything. Meaning, if next year we come back and then there's an 11th disclaimer, we must not be surprised. So I'm very worried about that. And I'm also very worried by the manner the municipal manager was presenting, because when he was talking about the issue of disclaimers, he said, yeah, unfortunately, we're not doing well in terms of audit outcome, and then he passed. And he did not spend sufficient time just to make us understand what are the challenges and what is it that as the municipality you are doing to turn the situation around. So I think he presented it as something that is normal and acceptable. And for us, it's a scary thing that we've got a municipality that has 10 disclaimers. So I'm not getting that from the municipal manager. And also, when I was listening to the national cabinet rep, well, I think he commented on a number of things, but with regards to the 10 disclaimers, he didn't say anything. And most of the time when the municipality is put under section 139, where there's an intervention by the province or by national government, the expectation from the public is that that municipality is going to change. So, but now if you've got a municipality that it is under section 139, whatever subsection it is, but the fact that there's a national government or provincial government that is intervening, the expectation from the public, which is reasonable, is that we need to see things changing. But now, if things are not changing, I think we won't blame people if they say, but it doesn't help that there is an intervention. It doesn't help that there's intervention by national government or provincial government, because the municipality is still in the same situation, and we're not seeing anything that shows that the municipality is going to change soon. I understand the issue that the national cabinet rep was talking about in terms of the resources, that some of the changes, particularly with regards to service delivery, require resources. So if you don't collect enough, you may not be able to do that. You may not be able to be seen bringing more services to the people because you don't have enough resources. But when we come to matters of good governance, matters of financial, sound financial management, internal controls, matters that have to do in the main with audit outcomes. How are we keeping our records? How are we keeping our records? How are we handling our finances and all that? I mean, at least on that front, we should be you should be seen doing something, and lack on the part of a physical service delivery where people, they say we need water, we need regraveling of streets and all that. But now if with the municipal manager being appointed now after 11 municipal managers that were acting like he indicated, if we've got the CFO being seconded by either the provincial government or national government, and then we've got a a national cabinet rep leading there with all these people, but we are still unable to get our books correct. I think it's very, very worrying. It's very worrying, and especially because you are not promising us anything. We are saying, no, we are working, but don't expect much from us. So I'm just very worried in relation to the fact that you don't seem to be doing enough as far as the issue of audit outcome is concerned. And we're not asking for you to get a clean audit, but we're just asking you to get out of the disclaimer. At least just get out of the disclaimer, and then you will then improve from that up until you get a clean audit. That's all what we are asking. But I'm not getting that from you. That's what I'm very much worried in relation to that particular matter. Secondly, the issue of audit committee. Well, I'm glad that the municipal manager indicated that after a long time, at least now you've got an audit committee, which we didn't have for quite a long time. I think we must appreciate that. But I don't know if whether the audit committee is in the meeting. Maybe if the chair of the committee is in the meeting, would like to also just hear from them, since they've been established. What is it that they've done to assist in improving the situation? And according to them, from their perspective, is there anything that they can promise us in terms of turning the situation around? Thirdly, Chair, which would be my last point, is with regards to the use of consultants. I don't know whether it's still a case or not, but I understand that you've been using consultants for financial statements. But even though you were using those consultants, but your financial statement still had errors. There was persistent errors on your financial statement. And I understand that you used an amount to the tune of 3.2 million rands in that particular regard. So I want to find out is that still the case? If yes, how do you justify paying 3.2 million rands to the consultant, but yet you still don't get those financial statements correct? Still, your financial statements have got errors, even though you have paid 3.2 million rand. So just want to find out is that still the case or not? If it still is the case, how do you justify that? If it's no longer the case, how do you build the internal capacity for the municipality to be able to handle those particular financial statements and all the audit-related matters? Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Nilme.
Thank you. Good afternoon, co-chairs, and good afternoon to my colleagues, and good afternoon to our delegation from Ditsobotla, led by the Mayor and the Speaker. Thank you for your inputs that we've received, but there's a few areas that I want some clarity on, specifically on governance issues and leadership. So this set of questions is for the Mayor and the Speaker. And this is specifically given that the municipality is in serious financial and governance challenges. Can you honestly assure this committee that the two coalition parties are providing the political stability required to turn the municipality around and to implement its financial recovery plan? Can you give the committee examples where the two coalition parties have successfully worked together to resolve a major municipal problem? I think we're listening to all the officials and everybody citing what's happening here, but now I'm talking to the leadership. So and so my next question is, has the two coalition parties, how have you resolved resolved differences and disagreements between the two parties that arise in council and or the mayoral committee. I think this is very important because, you know, governance and leadership starts at the top and then it filters down. And how do you ensure that appointments, procurement, and allocation of municipal resources are based on legislation and merit rather than coalition or party political interest? And then ultimately, who takes responsibility when the coalition fails to agree and that the disagreement affects service delivery or financial mismanagement? Is it the mayor, the speaker, the municipal manager? I just want a little more clarity with regards how the leadership is managing in the municipality. Chairperson, I had a lot of questions, but I think a lot have been cleared. I think I just wanted to look at the financial survival again. You know, the municipality is technically insolvent with debts far exceeding assets and a long-standing ESCOM bill, which we've obviously heard and received some answers. What is your concrete time-bound plan to get the municipality back on stable financial ground? And how will you keep the public and council transparently informed of progress on financial recovery? And what milestones should be expected over the next 12 months? Chair, I'll stop there, and if there's any follow-ups, I'll ask them then. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Typos.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Mayor and officials, and honorable members. Chair, Ditsobotla Local Municipality is a worry. This municipality has received a disclaimer audit opinion for more than 10 years from the Auditor General Chair. Due to persistent weak internal controls, poor records management, and growing levels of unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. As shot on the 12th of June 2024, the Auditor General invoked Section 11(2) of the Material Irregularity Regulations, requesting intervention from relevant role players in the accountability ecosystem, such as the Provincial Treasury, the Provincial Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, and the Office of the Premier. According to the Auditor General's Office, this action was taken to address the ongoing issues to ensure corrective measures to be implemented to resolve the records management material irregularity. Now, against this backdrop of this deteriorating state affairs at Ditsobotla Municipality, National Cabinet resolved on the 3rd of September 2025 to intervene at the municipality through Section 1397 of the Constitution, read with Section 150 of the Municipal Finance Management Act, number 56 of 23, which came into effect on the 9th of September 2025. This intervention included the imposition of a financial recovery plan and the appointment of a cabinet representative for a maximum period of 24 months to address the severe deterioration of the municipality's finances and delivery of services. Now, a lot was already said on the finance, Chair, and one of my questions is the cabinet representative still there, because it's set for a period of 24 months, and this happened in 2025, so that cabinet member should be there until 2027, and if so, we'd like to know if he's there and what or he or she and what they're doing. Then I want to go to service delivery, Chair. In 2024-25 financial year, the municipality only achieved 31% of its KPIs, so key service delivery targets for the basic service delivery and infrastructure development KPIs.
and they had spent 61% of the budget allocated for the achievement of these targets. The Auditor General, however, noted that the percentages reported by the municipality are not reliable, given that no supporting evidence was given for auditing to substantiate the reported performance information for the selected KPIs. Consequently, the AGSA was unable to audit the usefulness and reliability of information. Chair, I just wanted some things that was planned for 24-25, all right, of service delivery. 2,000 households provided with access to water pipeline reticulation system by 2025, not achieved. Number of household water meter connections, 2,000 connections at Boikutso for extension 3 by 30th of June 2025, not achieved. Number of unblocked household sewage pipelines, 2,000 of unblocked household sewage pipelines by June 2025, not achieved. Number of sewage manholes cleaned, 100 sewage manholes cleaned, they're targeted for 30 June 2025, not achieved. Water loss suffered during supply of water, 6,000 liters of losses by 30 June 2025, not achieved. Number of meters to be audited by 30 June 2025, not achieved. Number of electricity meters ordered, 2,000 of them by 30 June 2025, not achieved. Kilometers of municipal roads maintained, 8 kilometers of municipal roads was targeted by 30 June 2025, 0 kilometers returned. Square meters of potholes patched, 10,000 square meters of potholes patched by the same period, 30 June 2025, 0 square meters achieved. Kilometer of stormwater pipelines unblocked, 10 kilometer was target, 0 kilometers achieved. Kilometers of roads maintained, 40 kilometers of road maintenance was targeted, not achieved. Percentage completion constructed on upgrading Boikutso roads network, Ward number 3, and the stormwater. They were targeting to be 60% completed by 30 June 2025, not achieved. Chair, that's as far as service delivery goes, and that was just in 1 year. Now I just want to touch on, because everybody's touched on the other financial side, I just want to touch on the investigations. Investigations that was, it was allegations of investigation, but it was the SIU proclamation. The focus areas here was irregular appointment of a service provider without following the procurement process. Irregular procurement of generators for pump stations in Ditsobotla at excessive prices from Range Trading CC. I think we're talking over 25 million there, Chair. Finding status, the service provider was irregular appointed in terms of Regulation 36 as emergency, whilst in fact aimed at ratifying the telephonic appointment of a service provider. No contract, no appointment letter exists for a 25 million rand contract. The delivery and installation of generators at an inflated price from 250 to 550,000. That is just for delivery, based on a variation order relating to the specification and pricing without existence of evidence justifying that. Fruitless and wasteful expenditure relating to work not done but paid for was estimated at over 5 million. Irregular expenditure of 25 million relating to the procurement of the generators. The outcomes: civil litigation, one matter valued at 25 million referred to the special tribunal. Would like to know the outcome of that. Disciplinary referrals, 3 matters referred to disciplinary to the municipality. Would also like to know the outcome of that. Thanks, Chair. Now, let me just round it off. The AGSA's 24-25 audit report did not identify any new material irregularities during the audit. The table shows the status of the material irregularities that were previously reported in the audit report. Those are the ones that I just mentioned. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Let's do Shara Singh. Please
Thank you,
continue.
Chair. Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to all on the platform. Chair, I'm going to get straight into it. And my questions are directed to the municipal officials and leadership. They can choose who needs to answer. Chair, the presentation to SCOPA attributes delays and escalation on the Itsoseng project, partly to political instability and public riots. However, the municipality's own Feb 2026 submission to the Human Rights Commission records that the ward councillor specifically stated that the stoppages resulted from non-payment of salaries and that the community did not cause the project stoppage. So which explanation is correct? If non-payment by the municipality caused contractors or workers to stop work, how much of the project's escalation and additional cost was caused?
Please mute.
Thank you, Chair. If non-payment by the municipality caused the contractors or workers to stop work, how much of the project's escalation and additional cost was caused by the municipality's own financial management failures, and who is being held responsible and accountable for this avoidable cost? And then why does the SCOPA presentation describe phase 2 as 95% complete when the Human Rights Commission report says that the unsuccessful phase 2 project was closed and a new 20 million rand phase 3 project is required to complete the outstanding works? What is the final total amount the municipality will have spent to deliver the originally intended road and stormwater infrastructure? Chair, the next point, Council referred the 2023-2024 unauthorized expenditure investigation to impact on the 29th of January 2026. It is now more than 6 months later. Has impact completed that investigation? What findings has it made regarding responsibility, recovery, and disciplinary action? And if it has not completed the investigation, then why not? How much of the current 1.425 billion in UIFW balance has actually been investigated under Section 32? How much has been written off or certified irrecoverable? How much is being recovered? And how many individuals have been held personally liable? The Moketsi investigation report, what happened after some very serious investigation recommendations? The December 2024 independent investigation report contains substantial findings, some of which are a settlement agreement with MPM Molefe and Associates was entered into without lawful authority, a CCG systems agreement was irregular, SCM procedures were allegedly not followed in another appointment, payment was allegedly made to Kwenda Construction despite an affidavit contesting entitlement to payment, and significant additional legal costs were incurred. The investigator recommended, amongst other measures, that the municipality consider criminal charges, recover legal costs personally, and institute disciplinary proceedings. That report was signed on the 6th of December 2024. The independent investigation made specific recommendations, including disciplinary proceedings and possible criminal charges, and the recovery of legal costs. For each recommendation, please tell SCOPA what action was taken, on what date, and what the outcome has been. How much has Ditsobotla spent in total over the last 3 financial years on litigation arising from disciplinary disputes, unlawful or disputed appointments, settlements, and decisions of municipal officials, and how much of those costs has been recovered from any official found personally responsible? A municipality in severe financial distress, Chair, cannot afford a cycle in which bad decisions create litigation, litigation creates legal costs, and nobody ultimately bears responsibility. Chair, the municipality also says 3 disciplinary matters cannot proceed because it cannot afford an initiator and chairperson. And those cases include allegedly deliberate off-system payments, 1.61 million paid without proper documentation, and alleged collusion with a service provider. The additional Muketsi and Letwaba material demonstrates that disciplinary and legal disputes have been outstanding for considerable periods. How many financial misconduct and disciplinary cases are currently outstanding? What is the oldest outstanding case? What is preventing each matter from being concluded? And how much is the municipality currently paying officials who are suspended or whose cases remain unresolved? If the municipality claims it cannot afford independent initiators or chairpersons, what assistance has the National Cabinet representative sought from COGTA, National Treasury, Provincial Treasury, or other organs of state to conclude these cases? Chair, approximately 82% of the municipality's entire 1.58 billion debtor book is more than 90 days outstanding. What portion of this balance has been assessed as genuinely recoverable, and what provision for impairment has been recognized, and what is the realistic net recoverable value of the debtor book? Of the 105.2 million owed by organs of state, approximately 47.8 million is reflected as disputed. What is the municipality doing to resolve these intergovernmental disputes, and by what date does the municipality expect each dispute to be resolved? And please, can the approximately 10.97 million negative balance classified as unclassified in the government debtor schedule, if that could be explained, is this a credit balance, an allocation problem, or a data quality issues? And does it call into question the reliability of the data figures presented to this committee? Chair, given that the unreliable information is one of Ditsobotla's foundational audit problems, it is concerning that the municipality reports 139 audit action plan items, but then lists 11 addressed, 2 completed, and 127 in progress, which equals 140. It also calls 127 items 58.3%, when 127 of 139 is approximately 91%. This then doesn't just sum up to a trivial arithmetic typo. The fundamental problem underlying Ditsobotla's disclaimer is the inability to produce reliable information. Yet even the audit action plan dashboard presented to Parliament today does not reconcile mathematically. What assurance process was applied to this presentation before it was submitted to SCOPA, and what indeed are the correct figures? Chair, this is quite clearly a failed municipality. My biggest concern is that 8 interventions have failed to deliver meaningful progress, and we must seriously question why. We now have a national intervention and a multidisciplinary team who should, in effect, be turnaround specialists. Yet, based on what has been presented to SCOPA today, I am not convinced that we are seeing the level of progress one should expect. We also need to scrutinize who is appointed to these interventions. Too often, people appointed as technical experts or administrators have themselves presided over failure elsewhere. Those entrusted with turning around a failed municipality should have the appropriate expertise and a demonstrable track record of successfully turning organizations around. We cannot afford another failed intervention. I therefore propose that SCOPA request the financial recovery plan and monitor achievement against its milestones so that we can determine whether this intervention is actually delivering the required turnaround. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ntenja.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening to co-chairs, colleagues, and the municipality. Chair, the more you listen to the explanations from this team of this local municipality, the more confused one gets. I'd like to understand how accurate is the reconstructed registers for both UIFWs and security, as was stated that they're gonna go back 5 years and reconstruct. And the question also is, why didn't they do the registers in the first place? What stopped them from doing it? And how accurate is it gonna be now, 5 years down the line? Chair, I would like to find out what brought the motion of no confidence to chairpersons of MPEC, and how many chairpersons were taken down by a vote of no confidence? And also to say, how is their MPEC formulated? Because I fail to understand, when the chairperson is taken down, you still have the full committee there of MPEC. Are they giving any assurance to the AGSA's office as MPEC? They seem to have woken up today and realized that everything is gonna be now sorted, which they failed for the past 10 years to sort out. How can we be assured that things are gonna change? I would like to check on the issue of Ngaka Mudiri and the generators. The statement from the municipality is that we should be asking Ngaka Mudiri. And my question is, if the procurement was done by the district municipality, was it paid by the district municipality, or was it paid by the local municipality? I would like to know along those lines, because it doesn't seem as if they've seen anything wrong with what the district has done, if it's the district. But they are now saying we must go and ask the district, what is the story behind the generators? I'm still asking the local municipality before we are pushed to the district. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I'm going to request that you do responses. However, I think what is clear to us is that the intervention by national government is not only about turning the municipality around, it's also about ending some of the financial mismanagement and various weaknesses that have been identified. So as you respond, we would need you to know that from the joint committee perspective, we expect that both the municipality and the intervention team has to give us a plan of how they intend to end the disclaimers. Everyone has been listening, trying to get a concrete plan to this effect. We need a commitment to end disclaimers and a plan to do so. Of course, that will have a lot of other issues with it. The issue of the financial recovery plan, you had something to say about it. We need something that's concrete, that's got targets and timelines that we must be able to follow and monitor. The issue of the addressing of the UIFW expenditure, we again need a clear plan of how all of these issues are going to be addressed. We also need a clear analysis of your debt. You've been saying some of it is irrecoverable. We need clear report on that as well. Then, of course, we need a report on the various investigations that the members have pointed out regarding the irregularities that we must then be able to follow to see how you're dealing with them. There's an issue of the MPEC. We need a concrete plan of how you're dealing with the strengthening of the MPEC and correcting all the weaknesses associated with it. Linked to the investigations, we need a separation of which ones you've dealt with internally and they'll end up in the disciplinary process and which ones are going to the criminal justice system. So as you prepare for respond on all of these issues, we need your commitment on these matters that will ultimately help us to monitor on a regular basis how you're turning this situation around. The concern that we have had in a number of instances where, firstly, you've had disclaimers for 10 years, and you've got senior managers who have presided over several years of disclaimers in their own lifetime as management of the municipality and councillors. Then you've also got this whole turnaround process that must also demonstrate a change by also addressing these issues. So I think for us, more than anything, with all these answers, the real impact that we want to see is that of turning the municipality around and also starting with simpler issues, the issues that have been raised in relation to internal capacity, so that you don't end up having to rely on consultants that will end up with the disclaimers, irrespective of the fact that they have actually been brought into the system to assist. But anyway, let's go back then. You've had 5 members that need to be addressed. The questions need to be addressed. Please come through and respond to those. As my co-chairperson said, the longer you determine how long you stay in this meeting. We don't. We simply just oblige. So please give us your responses. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Co-Chair. Chairperson, I think there was a direct question posed to us as the troika of the municipality. Chair, on issues of the new coalition, we have not experienced any instability since last year, September the 23rd, after the invocation of Section 1397. Chair, it must be noted that we are working very well, even if there are some elements of some smaller Munyana parties that wants to create instability, but we were able to deal with them and ensure that we remain a stable council. Chair, on issues of empowering MPEC, on the new MPEC, that was established on the 23rd, it is also working very well. It's about to report on the next council because they have dealt with 8 years oversight reports. And we are sure that in the next council, they will be reporting on the report that they have been dealing with on issues of investigations. I've been talking to the chair of MPEC. They are also ready on to report on the next council on issues relating to UIFNW. Chair, on issues of how do we deal with matters that we don't agree on coalition. Chair, we have established a committee that includes one member of the NCR team by the name of Dr. Divier, where we resolve matters where we don't agree. And it has worked very well. We have ensured that since 23rd of September to date, we have ensured stability. And it can be noted, everyone who passes through here, everyone is appreciating that stability that is brought by the coalition of the ANC and the EFF. Thank you very much. I'll be giving to Ntatera Dikonzane, who is the NCR lead, to also answer on other questions that were posed. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
No, thanks, Chair. You've indicated that we should be just short in terms of provision of our answers. I must indicate that the National Cabinet representative and the team are part of the engagement now at the municipal space, and there has been a number of improvements. We will share progress on the FRP with the committee. But these issues that have been raised are prior issues before our coming in, and we have been working directly with the municipal manager and other colleagues to improve the report, the 2026 report. And we are hopeful that with the work that has been done, we will move the needle. The intention was at least to try and see whether we can move to an unqualified report, because you can't start with looking for a qualification. But of course, there are quite a number of issues. One of the key issues that the Auditor General always had a problem with in terms of Ditsobotla has been the inability to produce evidence on a number of issues, documents. And that is why this municipality was disclaimed. And you could see in the last financial year already in 2024-25, there has been a move, and the Auditor General did acknowledge even in his presentation in Council that at least, although there are problems, but he can now audit. There's documentation. And also in 2025-26, there's documentation. There's an improvement. We are working on write-offs, like we have said, where we are still keeping inventory that we can't account for and other related issues. So there's commitment from all levels to try and ensure that we move. It is one of the matters that are key in our terms of reference. So we have we're not insulating ourselves out of the team of Ditsobotla, but we also have an understanding that our responsibility is to work on taking away the culture of non-accountability. And that is what we are working on now. We've mentioned the road by, I think, is it Honorable Sai, the phase 2 and the phase 3 in Itsoseng. That road is now being investigated by the SIU. We're working with them in that regard, because we also are unhappy that a project of about 16 million has gone up to 60 million, and we don't see any other big up progress on that space. So we understand, we are integrated to work with the Ditsobotla administration, but we also understand our responsibility that we have to bring in here accountability and to deal with other matters that have not been finalized.
There was an issue of a disciplinary process and what the bargaining council dealt with regarding Mweketsi and Ledwaba issues. But now I have directed to the municipal manager that this report be handed to the Hawks, that it be dealt with so that we have a case that this matter is dealt with as we are dealing with the Mweketsi matter internally now, not only on his matters when he was municipal manager, but precisely on decisions that he has taken. But the matters also have to be reported to the Hawks and the criminal charges be laid in terms of that report, the Mweketsi report that we have at our disposal. The fact that the honorable member Singh is asking whether COGTA assistance relating to some of this process, especially financially, I must indicate, and this is what we have said to the Minister of Finance, to the Minister of COGTA, that we need some financial injection to stabilize service delivery in the municipality, but also to just deal with basics. Some honorable members have been in Ditsobotla. You would have seen that there's been a destruction even on the municipal building physically. And one of the issues is for us to ensure that those issues are attended to. We have an NCR responsible for finance who is working with a CFO and a municipal manager and the rest of us, because this is not only a financial issue, to resolve the audit issues. And we are attending to those matters. We are still hopeful up to this far, and that there would be an improvement in the audit. And the issues that have been raised, the matters that were clear paragraphs of a disclaimer, we are gradually working on that. The AFS, we are sure that we'll also submit them on time by the 31st of August. So we are looking at those issues to ensure that there is a reliable work that is being done so that we can be able to deal with these matters. I have the CFO has indicated interactions with departments that we have had relating to the recovery of our costs, but also what council has introduced in terms of the incentive. If we are able to work on this 60-40 issue, we can then be able to account on this 1.5 billion from households. I mean, in general, from our debtors, that we should be able to work on our data book so that we don't reflect what we have accepted, that our billing system was not well. We can be able to do those write-offs with our incentive policy approved by council going forward in terms of how we deal with those issues. So I should indicate that since our arrival here, there's not been any financial injection directly from the department. But in March, we were about to pay some of these critical investigators that have been dealing with these cases. Now it is, we received at least 76 million or 78 million equitable share. We've ring-fenced for payment of salaries, at least, but we are also paying down our debtors. And some of these firms that were working on these cases will be paid so that they can conclude those cases. The current suspension that we have of an official who is being paid and is on a suspension is the PMU manager. That's the current official that is currently on suspension. As I've said, others who were on disciplinary processes were brought in, and that process was handled for us to be able to deal with. I would want to request that the MM and the CFO deal directly with this matter of the generators and how it found expression in our financial statement. And then as Honorable Mkhize, the chairperson, was saying, we might have to provide additional information, but I've already dealt with what you are saying on the ending the disclaimer. It is something that even the provincial government, with the support from Treasury that they have given us, are also trying to assist us to get out of this. We are the only municipality in the Northwest with a disclaimer, and that tech doesn't go well with our political leadership here and ourselves as the national intervention team, and every one of us wants to turn that situation around. We have committed to present to the Secretariat a report on the FRP and the work that has been done in this regard. The fortunate part, maybe that can give the committee comfort on the FRP, is that because this was also a court-induced intervention, we have to report to the court on a quarterly basis in terms of progress, and then we have to report also to the Sakelecha team that had taken the national government to court. And we also have to report to council and communities here in terms of progress that we are making on the implementation of the financial recovery plan going forward, ourselves as the NCR team. I think I should state that we've taken also matters, other matters for investigation. The legal costs for this municipality are unbelievable. We said from 2021 up to 2025, that investigation has also been handed over to the SIU. The issues of, that's legal expenses, the issues of security from 2021, that work we are doing, so those investigations are going on, and we are hopeful that we will be able to present a better report when we engage with the committee at a later stage. But we remain committed to changing the municipality, turn it around in all fronts, and also deal with the disclaimer report. MM and the CFO.
Okay. Thank you, Engineer. On the issue of generators, on the issue on generators, the SIU, when they drafted their report, they drafted the report in a manner in which it was Ditsobotla which was responsible for that particular tender. And we did take up the issue with them to say that when you look at the article, their media release, it stated that this was done on behalf of the Ditsobotla Local Municipality. And our interaction somewhere around June, they did change the headlines, and then also they did change the headlines to say that no, this is the issue of Ngaka Mutiri Molema, not the Ditsobotla Local Municipality. So we do have that correspondence or that communication which was issued by their spokesperson, that it is not indeed Ditsobotla. Ditsobotla was just only a beneficiary to those particular generators. And also from the issue which was raised by Honorable Skosana about the appointment of the municipal manager being myself, and also the research which it was expected for me to know that what is it that I'm going to do in Ditsobotla. Amongst the others, there was a material irregularity which stated that the municipality was not submitting annual financial statement. And then by the time when I arrived here, we did not submit annual financial statement for a period of 2 financial years. And we did, as a municipality, we did submit 3 sets of annual financial statements, which we were audited at the same time. So in 2024, when we were audited, the municipality was audited for 3 financial years. So that is one material irregularity which was raised, and then in my capacity as the municipal manager by then or accounting officer, we managed to deal with that particular aspect. The other thing which we realized, or I realized, that the municipality did not have, we were somehow delayed by interaction between Ditsobotla and Ngaka Mutiri Molema. We wanted to participate in the shared services in terms of external audit committee, where we wrote a letter to them to say that due to our financial constraints and capacity, we are unable to pay any auditor in that regard. So we wrote a letter to them to request to participate, but unfortunately at later stage, they refused us to participate to tap into their space. And then a decision was then taken that the municipality to advertise. So the advertisement, and then with regard to the audit committee members, we did advertise, and after advertising the interviews, and then the appointment letters were issued. The unfortunate part is they might not start, they have not yet started, but the appointment letters were issued, which we believe that they will be effective from the 1st of September. But our wish was to say that when we submit these sets of financial statement, they should be able to can review them and give us the independent opinion. But we are pursuing them with regard to that, even though they're going to start by the 1st of September. They're going to start by 1st of September. And then I think also I will align myself with the submission by NCR that there are certain issues which we cannot maybe answer them now, but they will require us maybe to revisit our reports and then be able to give an accurate responses with regard to the issue on Itsoseng and also with regard to the issue of the litigation dispute which arose in Ditsobotla at that particular stage. And also the issue of consultants. The consultants are the prior year issues, which ever since in my period as a municipal manager, we've never used a consultant. And then in one aspect, we were heavily relying on our provincial treasurer, where they've assisted somehow in a technical assistance on the reviewing part of it. So ever since 2004, the Ditsobotla Local Municipality have not used consultant in compilation of annual financial statement, except to say that we were adopted in SAIGA, where SAIGA adopted the municipality to assist the municipality at no cost to that particular effect. Therefore, no cent has been spent for the past 2 years on any consultant to assist us with compilation of annual financial statement. CFO? Is there anything needed? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair. We are of the view, over to you, the Mayor, we are of the view that we've covered a number of questions which, except to say those probably will be requested to submit the documentation with the POEs.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, let me hand over to you. I think we have dealt with all questions that we posed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, honorable members. I have a serious challenge with the signals this side. So if I fall off, I'm going to ask Honorable Skosana to help us through to take the meeting towards the conclusion. May I check with the members if you are satisfied with the questions or do you require any further follow-ups? Honorable Singh.
Thank you, Chair. I just have one follow-up on the Itsoseng project. Can I just confirm? I heard that the project was supposed to be initially around 16 million, and it's now gone to about 60 million. I just want to confirm that I heard right. That 60 million is we're looking as the final figure. And the second thing is that it was mentioned that it was going to be investigated by the SIU. I just want to know where exactly is this? Has the SIU investigation been proclaimed, or are they in the process of requesting an SIU investigation? Please, thank you.
Thank you. We will cover. Are you back, Honorable Singh? Is that your old hand?
Sorry, Chair, I'll lower my hand. That's a legacy hand.
Okay, sure. That's fine. You can just get a quick response to those, but they will fall on the list of questions that we will need the municipality to deal with reports on those particular issues. But any quick response there? Honorable Isaac, you want to come in as well?
Thank you for allowing me, Chairperson. Chairperson, just on a point of clarity, I've just heard the municipal managers say that they have been adopted by SAICA, which is the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, to assist them with their financials. And he further goes on to say that they have not paid any consultants for the drawing up of financial statements in the last 2 years. That is what I believe I've heard him just say. Now, the AGSA's report speaks to consultants being paid some 3.0 million rand for the drawing up of financial statements during the 24-25 financial year. So perhaps, with due respect to the MM, if you could just give us some clarity on his statement. Thank you again, Chair.
Thank you. I think the question has been asked before. There was some clarity, but let's do it briefly. Any other member? Okay, please come with your response. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. The NCR will deal with the amount.
Now we have
on the
someone
vote.
else there who's unmuted. Can you just
Thank you,
decide
Chair.
who's going to speak? Mayor,
Thank you, Chair.
I think you should deploy the respondent. Who's going to speak? Mayor, give us a, who do you refer this to? Or the NCR, who is going to respond? Honorable members,
Chair, I did mention earlier in my submission, this municipality is in ICU, serious.
Oh, thank you.
Ujosinyane, please
On the
come
issue
in.
at the on the issue of the use of consultants at paragraph 59, it says about expenditure on UI on expenditure on annual financial statement. So it is where it is said SAICA paid an amount of 1.4 million, and then also on assets, the municipality spent 1.5 million on consultant for assets. So the question was to say the amount which was paid for compilation of annual financial statements. So the issue is SAICA adopted us through the LG-SITA processes, and then all the cost or anything which was related to compilation of asset, they brought a company which they've associated themselves with, which was introduced in the municipality, and they participated in that particular that particular instance through SAICA. Yeah, I think that will be my contribution to the question, Chair.
Effectively, you have been assisted by SAICA. Effectively, you have used consultants. Effectively, some money was paid to consultants, even if someone else did.
In short, that's so correct, but not at the pocket of the municipality, Chair.
It's almost the same thing. You didn't have their own internal capacity, and part of what we require is you to be able to, excuse me, to build your own internal capacity for that purpose. And that's where the issue is coming. So if you say you didn't use consultants, but you see somebody who was paid as a consultant, we need to be clarified. Honorable Isaac, are you covered now?
Thank you, Chair, I'm covered.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I think if all members are satisfied that there's not been anyone left out, we could then proceed on the conclusion of this meeting, let me take the opportunity to thank all the members for your contribution. On behalf of the co-chair, who has been excused to attend to other business, would like to bring this meeting to a conclusion. May I then thank the whole team from Ditsobotla for all the contributions. From our point of view, we're going to request that you follow up these matters in the following manner. Firstly, we expect that there should be a demonstration of a successful national intervention in turning around the municipality and improve its governance. That's what we expect that this whole intervention should do. So on a regular basis, we need to be able to get reports that indicate that there is progress in this regard. Secondly, we would like to see a commitment to ending the disclaimer situation. And thirdly, we would like you to provide a financial recovery plan with targets and timeline for Parliament to monitor. Fourthly, we need to provide a plan to address UIFW, provide clear program to how to resolve the all outstanding UIFW issues. Then you need to also provide a analysis of the data book and quantification of the total debt and which is recoverable, which is irrecoverable. And then 6 is to provide the report on investigations done on irregularities, including procurement of generators and so on. You need to clarify that in a proper report and all the other issues that the members have raised so that we understand how we have dealt with all the regular procurement issues that have been reported. 7th, we also need you to indicate which of these investigations have been referred to a criminal justice system, which ones have gone to SIU, what is the status of each of those, as the honorable members have been asking. We need a whole proper report on those. And then 8th, we need also you to provide an analysis of the weaknesses of the MPEC and its related structures, disciplinary board, audit committees, and indicate the plan of how to strengthen the MPEC functionality, and then show us with the timelines by which time you'll have been able to reduce so much, resolve so much of UIFW and so on. So we need all of these issues. When you do your reports quarterly, then make sure that the Parliament receive the report so that we can monitor as things go, as the situation goes on. I think it would be, for us, it's quite appropriate that there's one report that goes to all the players, because we want to monitor exactly the same issue. The purpose of the joint oversight program is that at national level, all the committees that are associated must have the same report, focus on the same issues. When we deal with the provincial level, exactly the same issues. In this case, national executive requires the same information. So all of us, because we'll also be wanting to keep an eye on how the executive are actually dealing with the same issues in Ditsobotla, so that it must turn around. No municipality can turn around without everyone participating, and we really would like to see that kind of commitment. Having said so, we want to say thank you very much for your participation, honorable members. This brings us to the conclusion of our meeting, and therefore we want to say thanks to everyone. The meeting is adjourned. Have a safe journey home, those who are traveling, and have a
Thank you, Chair.
lovely
Thank you,
evening to
Chair.
all of us. Meeting is
Thank you, Chair.
closed. Thank
Thank you, Chair.
you.
Thank you. Yo, I thought we were going to be until
We can reconvene if you want, Honorable Taibosh.